Hello and welcome to another What Sold video. So this is everything that sold for me on Pango and eBay for the week of March 16th to March 22nd. And I'm gonna scoot, I guess, over here and we'll do Pango first. All right, for those of you that don't know, Pango Books is an app where you just sell books. So you don't just sell books, I promise there's stuff other than books in the eBay section. I'm really excited because I started to get bundle sales in for this week, and I got a lot of bundle sales in for this week, and most of the books that, well, it was like 50-50, so half the books are either stuff that was in my death pile or stuff that didn't sell on Whatnot, or it was stuff that I specifically sourced for Pango. So the first sale is a big bundle sale. I sold a couple of hardcover Harry Potter books, a copy of The Princess Bride, several books in the George R.R. Martin series, Game of Thrones. I sold a copy of E.T. and then the Times I, which I tried multiple times to sell on Whatnot, would not sell on Whatnot. Sold on Pango, so I sold the whole bundle in total for $31, but on Pango, it's really easy to bundle and set bundle discounts. So my store is set up where it doesn't matter how much over $10 you spend, but as long as you spend at least $10, you get 10% off in order to encourage people to buy more books. So that discount did come off of $3.10, and then Pango also takes either 20% fee or it takes off at least 40 cents. But my total profit is $22.32, which you guys can see here, which is one of the things that I like about being able to share my Pango sales with you guys, is you guys can see exactly how much I'm making. Now, if you subtract the cost of goods, so I have I have 3 hardcovers, that's $1.50, it's $2.50. So basically I made $19 off of these books, which is great because all of these books I picked up at the bins. So that's amazing to me. Another really big bundle that sold, again, all of this is either stuff that wouldn't sell on Whatnot, that I sourced for Whatnot, didn't sell on Whatnot, so I'm putting that stuff on Pango instead of putting it on eBay and dragging my metrics down on my eBay store, or it's stuff that I'm sourcing directly for Pango, and then the stuff that I'm sourcing directly for Pango would have been stuff that I would have taken to my local secondhand bookshop and turned in for store credit to buy other stuff. This is the perfect fourth option for me, and I know I've said this multiple times. I'm just, again, really excited about it, and you can see why. This is, a couple Star Trek books, a couple Anne McCaffrey books, a couple Game of Thrones books. When I did that big warehouse buy, that book bundler warehouse buy, I ended up with an entire giant moving box worth of Game of Thrones books, which I was able to make, I think, 3 sets in total, of 1 through 5, and then I just had a whole bunch of one-offs. I did sell a couple of the one-offs in my Whatnots, but now I'm left with all these individual books, and I can't really compete again with the bulk sellers over on eBay. So this is perfect. This is honestly wonderful for me. Again, all these books I paid $1.25 for. So I have maybe $2.25 into this, and you can see the whole total sold for $23. They get 10% off of $2.30. The Pango takes their fee, and then it's $16.56. So still made, $12 in profit, $13 in profit, and a whole bunch of books that would have ended up in landfill end up in another person's hands, which I love. Here we have a single book on Pango. This is A Deepness in the Sky by Werner Vinge. This is the second book. First book is A Fire Upon the Deep. Fire Upon the Deep is the first book in this series. Sold for $3. Again, I paid 25 cents for this, so I made $2 and some change off this book, which is great. The next is another big bundle sale, but this is a viewer sale. Nancy decided after she watched my video to give Pango a try. Again, that was why it was really important for me when I made that initial Pango video to do 30 days on Pango without talking about it. Just test it out, not talk about it, not tell anybody I was doing it, because you guys are amazing and will support me. And I love that. Again, Nancy, thank you. But I wanted to show that it is possible to start your book selling business over there, or to clear off your own shelves and still be able to sell books, and you don't have to be a YouTuber or have any social media presence. It's not like Poshmark where they ask you to share a bunch of times and do social crap in order to sell your stuff. No, you don't have to do anything but list your book and it will sell, which is awesome. But Nancy bought actually a bunch of younger fiction, so I would consider a lot of the fiction that she bought was either YA or 8 to 12-year-old. So it's Julie of the Wolves, Roll My Thunder, Hear My Cry, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, Piecing Me Together, The Little Prince, and The Hours. The Hours is probably the only adult fiction that she bought, but opinion, and I've said this multiple times, reading is reading. So whatever reading you enjoy, reading is the most important thing. But she paid a total of $13.50. Again, she got that 10% discount of $1.35. And she actually said she ended up getting $10 off because she got the $5 welcome coupon from Pango, and then she used my code, I believe she used my code B0B, which is Bob, so B0B at checkout, and then she got an additional $5 off, plus the 10% off from my store. So she's like, this was awesome. If you want to use that code, it still works, so have at it. Again, it'll be linked down in my description and or like it'll be on the screen somewhere. But Nancy, thank you. Another bundle sale again. This is To Kill a Mockingbird and Charles Dickens. So 2 books that are considered classic literature. I would never be able to compete with anyone on eBay for this unless I did a bundle. So I would have to do like 3 Harper Lee books or 3 Charles Dickens books and do it as a bundle to do a value bundle. That would be like the only way I could sell these, and that was the only way I was selling them. But to be able to list them individually and not have to wait until I find a bundle is awesome. And then someone can make their own bundle. Now the Green Mile, hilariously, I tried to sell this on Whatnot for $2. Nobody bought it, but I sold it for $7 on Pango. Stephen King does really well over on Pango, which is nice because I find Stephen King pretty frequently. So as long as the book's in good shape, it will sell. And then Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. I'm super surprised. Again, Oprah, Reese, like Oprah Book Picks, Reese's Book Club, and then Book of the Month Club all seem to sell well over on Pango because they're like modern fiction. The subtotal was $16.25. They got the 10% off and then the platform took their fee. I have a total of $1.25 into this. So I made 10 bucks off this bundle, which I think is great. I'm also someone who can list on Pango super fast. Like I can list 50 books in like an hour. I can list more than 50 books honestly in an hour. So I think this is awesome to me. This is something from my own death pile. I have 3 long boxes of books where I'm trying to build sets. And I realized that I had actually 2 copies of The Tombs of Atwan by Ursula Le Guin. And this actually had a dedication and ink inside of it. So I was like, okay, well, this is the one that's in the worst condition just because it had that dedication inside of it. I'll list it on Pango and see what happens. It literally sold the day I listed it. And this went to somewhere in Alaska. So this is the 2nd book in a 6-book series by Ursula K. Le Guin. Sold for $3. I paid 25 cents for this. That's amazing to me. I love making $2 like immediately. And that's what I want to like challenge you guys to think about. I know that some of you are like, my time's worth more. Cool. You don't have to have this business model. Don't do it. Just cherry pick your way. Have a cherry picking business. I'm so happy for you. I love cherries. They're delicious. But for me, like, I'm looking at it this way. This was sitting in my death pile. Someone literally gave me $2 to take this out of my death pile. All I had to do was show it to them. That sounds like a great thing to me. So that's how I'm thinking about it. Another thing that was in my death pile, another one that I would have waited till I had 3 books before I could list it. This is The Garden of Eden by Ernest Hemingway. I sold for $3. After Pango took their fee, I made $2.40. After I take out the 25 cents, I made $2 off this book. Everything here, except for the Communist Manifesto, was stuff I sourced specifically for Pango at the bins. The Communist Manifesto was something I've had in my death pile for a while that I sourced at the bins in order to like put it in a bundle. But that bundle never happened, so it just ended up getting listed because I'm trying to get rid of my death pile. But everything else is stuff that I sourced at the bins to list on Pango. So again, this is $1.25, and after you look at like the fees and the discount that comes out, I made $9.50. That's amazing to me. I love that. I think that's amazing. This is another thing that's just amazing to me. I bought a copy of New Moon and Twilight at the bins, so 50 cents, and they sold literally the day I listed them for $7. Pango took their fees, so I made $5 off of 2 books that I literally have never been able to sell unless I have like the full set on eBay. So, and I made more profit selling it this way than I would have if I had sold the full set on eBay. So Amazing. And now we're gonna go over to eBay. Speaking of, I'm gonna boop over here. And this is a full price sale. I sold this new Juan Carlos Onetti. This is sold for $14.87. I picked this up at that restore buy I did, so I have 10 cents into this book. Once you take out the $4.63 in shipping, I still made like $9 off this book. Love that. This is a frontage Free People piece. This was actually gifted to me by Melissa. She, like, once a quarter, her and Addison and I all meet together. We go to diversity shopping. We have dinner at the Fat Dragon in Richmond, and it's a good time. And it's like one of the highlights of my quarter is to spend time with them. And then Melissa almost always has goodies for both of us, because she's just a wonderful person. This was in one of my bag of goodies to resell. It's a vintage Y2K Free People top, sold for $17.50. They sent me an offer, I accepted. It was free to me, so this is amazing. I've talked about how I love picking up vintage knitwear because it sells for me, especially these vintage 90s tops. This was super cute. It was this like little off-white, like cream number, short sleeves, very cute, perfect for spring. Sold for $14 on an offer. Very happy with this. This is also something that sold on an offer for $14. This is a New with Tags BC clothing. I've not heard of this outdoor brand before, but I figured I'd give it a try. I will probably not pick it up again unless it's brand new with tags, because these are convertible pants. And the fact that these sold on offer for $14 means that the company itself is probably not that sought after, but I'm just glad that they're gone. I made a profit. I'm happy. Another piece from that restore buy, so I have 10 cents into this book. This is Leave Taking by Peter Weiss. Again, a brand new trade paperback book. Sold, I bought it for 10 cents. It sold for $9.87. Now this one, the buyer paid for shipping. So again, made $9, amazing. This is a thank you to Rob. Rob bought this set of breakables from me. So if you did not know, I do have a mug. I have a Twitch mug. I am a Twitch partner. That's like the only merch I have. I made them when I like first started doing well on Twitch, and I still have like a whole case of them. If you want one, it's a 15-ounce mug, so it's a big purple mug. It's really nice. I think it's really nice. But he bought it for full price for $7.87. And then he also bought a set of 4 Chelsea coasters. Chelsea, the football club, is my aunt and uncle's favorite football club. They're cleaning out their own stuff now that my aunt has retired, and she gifted me a bunch of stuff to resell, because when you tell people what you do, you'll be surprised at how much free stuff you can get. So Aunt Diane, Uncle Lauren, thank you very much. Rob also bought these for me as well. So Rob, thank you very much for supporting me in my business. I hope you are enjoying a cup of something while you're reading a book. That would warm my heart, and I really, really appreciate you buying these for me, especially the mug, because I've literally had these for like, I think 7 years now, but you know, I don't really promote my stuff very good. I don't promote this channel. I don't tell you to like, subscribe, because I figured everybody knows how to YouTube at this point. So if you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it. If not, that's fine. I'm also one of those people that don't do it unless I feel like I do it. Anyway, cool. Rob, thanks. This was awesome. This was a gamble from me. I bought this for $4 at the thrift store across the street from the boys' house. I gave it a try because it was new with tags, but it had Bonefish Grill on it. Hey, I should probably tell you what this is. This is a new with tags Tommy Bahama silk shirt. It's a silk button front, black, and it had Bonefish Grill, which is a seafood restaurant, embroidered on it. Well, it's brand new with tags silk shirt from Tommy Bahama. So I'm guessing this was like a manager shirt, and they either quit or got fired or got promoted to do something else. I don't know. A career change, or maybe they lost a bunch of weight. I have no idea. But I found it at the thrift store. I paid $4 for it, and I was like, you know what? Let's just see what happens. Maybe somebody's gonna really love the Bonefish Grill and want a Tommy Bahama shirt that has it on there. Or maybe they're just gonna think it's cool looking and get it. I don't know. But it sold for my full asking price of $499.87. The original retail price for this shirt was like $98. So I'm glad I took that gamble. It did take like a year to sell, but for $50, I'm pretty happy with that. This is a Titleist hat. Again, another thing from Melissa, as you guys can see from the tag on here. Sold for $12, and the buyer paid for shipping. This is 100% free to me, so Melissa, thank you. This was another book I picked up at the Book Bundler buyout. I actually picked up 3 of these books. Each one was an alternate cover. So this is Shadow of the Conqueror by Shad M. Brooke. And so each one of, it's the same book, but each book had a different cover. So this is the first one of the 3 to sell. It sold for my full asking price of $39.87, and this actually went international. So this wasn't something that you could just go buy at the bookstore. This was a special edition print. This is a set from that big vintage buyout I did, so I have 50 cents into this set. It's one of the few sets that had a matching top and bottom that were the same size, so I sold it as a set. I have learned since now not to sell this in sets, sell it as separates. They sell better that way. Sold for $20. Again, I have 50 cents into it. I'm just glad it's gone. This is something I picked up at the bins. It is a Raiders t-shirt. It is a size medium, which is probably why it took a long time to sell, but it sold for $8. I have less than $1 into this because I got it at the bins. This is another thing from Melissa. This is a vintage Y2K like cat shirt. It's a Halloween shirt, super cute. If it was my mom's size, I would have kept it and given it to her because she's born on Halloween. Anytime I see anything Halloween, it makes me think of my mommy. I love her with my whole heart. This sold for $11 and it was free to me, so Melissa, thank you. This is a pair of brand new Adidas shoes. You can see here it says refunded on it. I refunded them part of the shipping because they sent me a message saying that they were just trying to restart after losing everything in the Palisades fire. So I just sent them the shipping back. I refunded them the shipping back, and I hope that they're doing well. I didn't make any money off of this. This is retail arbitrage. I've talked to you guys before how I'm terrible at it. I'm just glad I got my money back and hopefully help someone out that is going through a tough time. This is actually a Columbia shirt that I realized when I was doing my inventory that I didn't have listed anywhere. So I relisted it, and now that it's relisted, as you can see, when I relisted it was this year, even though I don't know how long it's been in my inventory. It sold for $11.60. So as soon as I got it listed and people could buy it, it sold within like 3 months, which I think is great. And I'm just really happy that it's no longer sitting in my inventory, and I need to make more of those videos and finish going through my inventory because this is a great example of why I need to do that. So really happy. I probably paid like $4 or $5 for this. I don't know how long ago. This is the Selection series. I actually personally own this set. It's by Kara Cass. I own this set in hardcover. Very much 20 teens YA. Sold for $14.87 and the buyer paid for shipping. I bought all of these at the bins, so perfection for, you know, $1.25 to sell them for $14.87. Love that for me. Another book bundler win. I told you I basically got an entire long box full of Warhammer books from this book bundler. This sold for my full asking price of $44.87. It cost $4.63 to ship this, so I made, after fees, like 35 bucks off of this one little paperback. Again, Warhammer books. If you see it out in the wild, it's in good shape. Probably should pick it up. I've talked about before here on this channel how dream, occults, witchcraft, that kind of stuff, a lot of books on that stuff, especially if they're older, can be valuable. This is one of those. This is The Dream Symbolism by Manny P. Hall. This is supposed to be like dream symbolism, like the science of dreams. And it sold for my full asking price of $39.87. I bought this as the bins for $1. Eileen, you come here. Eileen, hey, come here. Get your puppy butt over here. Don't you go wandering off. You want to be outside, you gotta stay with me. Oh, here, come here, come here. Want to come up? Up? Yes, can the people see you? Yes, this is Eileen. Another set of books. This is the entire Sea Drake Sisters, Sea Haven Drake Sisters quintet, fiveology, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, there's 5 books, Christine Feehan. I bought all these at the bins, so I have $1.25. It sold for $14.87 and the buyer paid for shipping. This is amazing. It was amazing that I was able to complete this set. I did not realize just how many different series Christine Feehan has written and how thick, like how many books are in some of them. So I'm just glad that I was able to get one and sell it. Probably won't try to do that with any of her other sets, but they sold shortly after I listed them within like 2 months, so that's pretty great. I just realized that, like, I did say that this isn't all going to be books, but it feels a little bit more like, you know, 75% books. It's probably because I've been mostly just listing books and I haven't been listing a lot of clothes. I need to fix that. This is an Adidas piece. I bought this at FlipCon. Again, I'm trying to finally go through my death pile and get stuff listed. I bought a bunch of stuff, like bags of stuff at FlipCon because, you know, it's literally a convention about thrifting and flipping the clothes online. And I just had them sitting in my house. Well, I had them sitting in the Bronco for like 3 months, and then I pulled them on my house and they just sat in my house for like a year and a half. So super glad that this shirt I got at the bins for $1 sold for $9, and it's no longer sitting in my house. This is another thing from Melissa. Melissa doesn't sell a whole lot of athletic wear, the basic athletic wear. She normally just gifts it to me, which is great. This is an Athleta piece. It sold for $7 and it was free to me, so I'm perfectly happy to let it go at that. And it was also just like a small size and super basic. So this is a piece I picked up at Diversity when I went thrifting with Addison and Melissa. So I have $1 into this. This was an Eddie Bauer. It's an extra large. It's like a lightweight waterfall, like just over shirt. It's not a sweater because it's made out of a lightweight, like, I don't know. It's made out of like workout shirt material, but it was long sleeve and it was a waterfall open front. So I feel like this is one of those things you just like throw on, because I know here in the South in the summertime, a lot of offices are like 65 degrees. So you'll go outside and it'll be 100 degrees and you go inside and it's 65 degrees, and that's a big shock to the body. So you'll go outside and wear no sleeves, but have to have sleeves on when you come inside. I hope that made sense. Anyway, this sold for $8.50. Happy with that. And then the last item I had to share with you is another thank you to Dorothy. In the last video, you saw Dorothy buy the butterfly. She also bought this dinosaur because she's doing some early Christmas shopping and decided to support me at the same time. So again, Dorothy, thank you. And the reason why these aren't in the same video is because she bought these on different days. She bought one on Saturday and one on Sunday, so she gets to be thanked in 2 videos. So Dorothy, thank you. I hope that when the kids open them for Christmas, that they will love them and there'll be something fun that you guys can do together. So that is everything that sold for me. Mostly books, both on Pango and on eBay, but some clothes and some hard goods and some other stuff. So this was probably the best week of sales I've had. Well, no, this is the best week of sales I've had all year. You know, the week before was not so great. The week after was great. All I can do is just keep listing. So it's like that's basically all I can do. Like, the best thing you can do for your business is list, because if it's just sitting in your house, nobody knows it's for sale. And really that's the point of the reselling, is the selling part, even though the sourcing part is normally the most fun for most of us. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, bye. Bye.